The massive alien ship hung in Earth's orbit like a dark cloud blocking the stars. Inside the United Nations building in New York, Ambassador James Walker tugged at his collar, feeling the weight of humanity's future on his shoulders. In less than an hour, he would face the representatives of the Galactic Council for humanity's first official meeting with alien civilization. "Remember, Ambassador," General Roberts whispered beside him, "show strength. These aliens respect power above all else." Walker nodded, but his attention was fixed on the strange creatures entering the room. The alien delegates looked like walking tanks. Their bodies were covered in natural armor plates that clicked and shifted as they moved. The leader, High Commander Vex, towered over everyone at nearly 8 feet tall, his metallic-looking skin reflecting the fluorescent lights. "So," Vex's translator crackled to life, his 4 eyes scanning the human delegation with obvious amusement. "These are the inhabitants of Earth." His mouth plates shifted in what seemed to be their version of a smile. "How interesting." The other aliens in his group made strange clicking sounds that their translators didn't bother to convert. Walker didn't need a translation to recognize laughter when he heard it. "We welcome you to Earth," Walker said, standing tall despite feeling dwarfed by the alien presence. "We're honored to join the galactic community." "Yes, yes." Vex waved a heavily armored hand dismissively. "Let's begin the classification process. It's standard procedure for all new species." He pulled out a device that looked like a tablet made of living metal. "Physical durability test first." Before Walker could react, Vex pressed a button. A small drone appeared and fired a beam at Walker's hand. He felt a sharp sting, like a paper cut. "Fascinating," Vex muttered, watching a drop of blood appear on Walker's skin. "Your outer layer is remarkably thin, almost like larva." More alien laughter followed. Walker's face burned with embarrassment, but he kept his diplomatic composure. "Our skin may be different from yours, but it serves us well." "Does it?" Another alien stepped forward, this one covered in what looked like crystalline plates. "Your species has no natural armor, no redundant organs, no backup systems. How did you even survive long enough to develop space travel?" The aliens gathered around their devices, clicking and chirping in their native languages. Walker caught glimpses of diagrams showing human anatomy, each notation seeming to highlight what the aliens saw as weaknesses. "High Commander," Walker tried to redirect the conversation. "Perhaps we could discuss trade agreements and cultural exchange." "Oh yes, cultural exchange," Vex interrupted, his translator barely keeping up with his rapid speech. "We should definitely study how your species managed to build civilization while being so." He paused, searching for the right word. "Fragile." The word hung in the air like an insult. Walker saw General Roberts' face turning red with anger. "Based on our initial scans," Vex announced officially, "Earth humans are classified as a Class D species. You may participate in basic trade, but advanced technology exchange is restricted. For your own protection, of course." His mouth plates shifted again in that not-quite smile. "We wouldn't want you hurting yourselves." Walker felt his hands curl into fists. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries, imagining a moment of unity and shared knowledge. Instead, they were being treated like children at a grown-up's table. "We appreciate your concern," Walker managed to say, his diplomatic training being tested to its limits. "But I think you'll find humans are full of surprises." "Surprises?" Vex laughed, the sound like grinding metal. "What surprises could a species of soft skins possibly offer?" No, we've seen thousands of species like yours. Some survive, some don't. The galaxy is a harsh place." As the meeting concluded, Walker watched the alien delegation return to their ship, their armored bodies gleaming under the lights. Behind him, he could hear the angry whispers of his fellow humans, their pride wounded but their spirit unbroken. "They think we're weak," General Roberts growled quietly. "They have no idea what humans are capable of." Walker smiled slightly, remembering the countless times in human history when being underestimated had led to unexpected victories. "No," He agreed. They don't. But they will. He looked up at the alien ship through the window, its dark shape blocking the stars. They definitely will. 2 weeks after the first contact meeting, Ambassador Walker sat in his office, staring at endless reports of alien ships entering Earth's solar system. Each vessel carried observers, scientists, and cultural experts who treated humans like an amusing zoo exhibit. The situation was becoming unbearable. His computer screen lit up with another incoming call from High Commander Vex. Walker took a deep breath before accepting it. Ambassador. Vex's metallic face filled the screen, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. I trust you're adapting well to your new Class T status. Actually, Walker leaned forward. That's what I wanted to discuss. Our classification seems unfair. Laughter crackled through the speakers. Unfair. We've studied your species thoroughly. Your bodies break with minimal force. You have no natural defenses. Even your planet's simplest predators could tear through your skin. Walker felt his patience snap. Then put us to the test. The alien commander's eyes all focused at once. What did you say? You heard me. Walker continued, his voice steady. If you're so sure about human capabilities, let us prove ourselves in competition. Vex's armor plates shifted as he leaned closer to his camera. Are you suggesting participation in the Galactic military games? Exactly that. The alien commander's laughter now boomed through the speakers. The games, where species with natural armor and enhanced strength compete. Do you know what happens to participants? I can learn, Walker replied firmly. Very well. Vex's voice carried a cruel amusement. I'll send you footage of last year's games. After you see it, you can withdraw your request with no shame. Well, no additional shame. Minutes later, Walker sat with General Roberts and Captain Mark Stone, watching the footage. The screen showed massive arena battles, endurance trials through acid pools, and combat situations that seemed impossible to survive. They're trying to scare us, Stone said, his eyes fixed on the brutal images. But I see something they don't. What's that? Roberts asked. Patterns. Weaknesses. They rely too much on their natural armor. They're strong but slow. Inflexible. Stone pointed to a particularly large alien competitor. Look how they move. All that protection limits their agility. Walker studied Captain Stone. The man was a legend in special forces, known for completing missions others called impossible. His body bore countless scars, each one a story of survival and adaptation. Can we do this? Walker asked directly. Stone smiled. Give me 2 months and a team of my choosing. We'll show them what humans can do. The next day, Walker called Vex back. The alien commander had already begun another round of mockery when Walker interrupted him. We accept the challenge. Earth will send a team to the games. For the first time, Vex was silent. Unless, Walker added with a slight smile, you're afraid to let us compete. The alien's armor plates rattled in agitation. Afraid? Of soft skins. Fine, you'll have your chance. But when your people are broken and humiliated, remember that we warned you. After the call ended, Walker joined Stone in the newly established training facility. 5 soldiers stood at attention, each chosen for their unique abilities and unbreakable will. Meet the team. Stone gestured to them. The best Earth has to offer. Walker looked at each face. These weren't the biggest or strongest humans alive, but their eyes held something special. A determination that no amount of alien mockery could break. The games begin in 2 months, Walker told them. The entire galaxy will be watching, expecting us to fail. Let them watch. One of the soldiers, Lieutenant Reed, stepped forward. Let them laugh. They don't understand what humans are capable of. Stone nodded in approval. From this moment, we train harder than any species has trained before. We'll learn their rules, their patterns, their weaknesses. And when the time comes, we'll show them what fragile humans can really do, Walker finished. As he left the facility, Walker heard the sounds of intense training beginning. The aliens thought humans were soft, weak, and easily broken. They had no idea that these very qualities, their ability to bend without breaking, to adapt, to heal, were humanity's greatest strengths. The real question wasn't whether humans could survive the games. The question was whether the galaxy was ready for what humans would show them. Inside the station's docking bay, representatives from 30 different alien species gathered to watch the humans arrive. Most had never seen a soft skin in person before. Their whispers and clicks filled the air as Stone's team stepped out of their ship. "Welcome to the 847th Galactic Military Games," a voice boomed through the translators. High Commander Vex stepped forward, his armor gleaming under the bright lights. "I see the humans actually came." "How brave." Stone ignored the scattered laughter. His team wore simple black uniforms, looking almost naked compared to the naturally armored aliens around them. But they had trained for this moment. They were ready. "The first event begins in 1 hour," Vex announced. "The endurance trial. Try not to die too quickly. It would be embarrassing for everyone." In the preparation area, Stone gathered his team. "Remember the plan," he said quietly. "We're not here to show everything we can do. Not yet." The arena's first challenge was a massive obstacle course. Platforms hung over pools of bubbling acid, electric barriers crackled between climbing walls, and automated weapons tracked movement with deadly precision. "Humans are in Group 7, an alien official announced, along with the Krex warriors and Titan beetles of Rigel." The Krex warriors looked like walking tanks, their bodies covered in metallic scales. The Titan beetles stood 12 feet tall, their exoskeletons thick enough to stop bullets. Both species looked at the humans with obvious amusement. "Begin," the signal flashed. Stone led his team through the course with careful precision. They didn't try to match the raw strength of their competitors. Instead, they moved with calculated efficiency, using their smaller size and greater agility to their advantage. "Look how they run," one alien spectator commented, "like prey animals fleeing predators." But as the course progressed, something strange began to happen. The mighty Krex warriors started slowing down, their heavy armor becoming a burden. The Titan beetles struggled to navigate the tighter spaces. Meanwhile, the humans maintained their steady pace. "They're not even tired," another alien observed with confusion. "How are they not tired?" Stone's team completed the course in 4th place out of 10 groups. Not impressive enough to draw attention, but far from the failure everyone expected. The aliens' laughter had died down, replaced by puzzled murmurs. "Interesting performance." Vex approached Stone afterward. "But the real challenges haven't begun. Tomorrow we start combat trials. Your soft bodies won't have anywhere to hide then." Stone just smiled. "We look forward to it." Later, in their assigned quarters, the team reviewed their performance. "They still think we're weak," Reed said, stretching muscles that had already recovered from the day's strain. "They don't understand what they're seeing." "Good," Stone replied. "Let them keep underestimating us. Tomorrow, we'll show them a little more, but not everything. Not yet." Through the window, they could see other competitors training in the practice areas. Huge aliens lifting impossible weights, others sparring with enough force to crack walls. The sight would have been intimidating to most humans. But Stone's team wasn't worried. During their 2 months of training, they had learned something crucial about their alien competitors. All that natural armor, all those redundant organs and backup systems, came with a price. The aliens never learned to truly recover from injury, to adapt and grow stronger. "Rest up," Stone told his team. "Tomorrow, they'll start to realize their mistake. They think we're contained in this station, surrounded by their power and technology." Reed grinned. "They don't realize they're the ones who are trapped in here with us." As the station's artificial night cycle began, the human team prepared for sleep. Unlike their competitors, who needed specialized environments and support systems, the humans adapted easily to the station's atmosphere. It was just one more thing the aliens had overlooked. The real show was about to begin, and the galaxy wasn't ready for what came next. The combat arena roared with excitement as Lieutenant Reeve faced off against her opponent, a massive warrior from the crystal plains of Arcturus. His body was covered in diamond hard plates, and his 4 arms each held a different weapon. "This is madness," Ambassador Walker muttered from the observation deck. "She's a third his size." Captain Stone remained calm. "Watch." The alien crowd had gathered in huge numbers to watch what they thought would be a quick and brutal defeat. High Commander Vex sat in his elevated position, already writing what looked like a condolence message. "Begin." The signal flashed. The Arturian warrior charged forward like an armored truck, weapons swinging in deadly arcs. Reed dodged each strike with fluid grace, her movements precise and economical. The crowd's excited cheers turned to confused murmurs. "Stand still, soft skin." The warrior roared through his translator. His frustration grew with each missed attack. Reed continued her evasive dance, but everyone could see she was being backed into a corner. The warrior had too many arms, too many weapons. Eventually, one of them would connect. Then it happened. A blade caught Reed's shoulder, cutting deep. The crowd gasped. Even Vex leaned forward in his seat, expecting the human to fall. But Reed didn't fall. Blood ran down her arm, but she kept moving. The warrior, encouraged by the hit, pressed his attack. Another blade found its mark across her back. "Still," she fought on. "Why won't you break?" The warrior demanded, his strikes becoming desperate. That's when the aliens noticed something impossible. Reed's first wound was already closing. The deep cut on her shoulder had turned to a pink line, then barely a mark at all. The slash across her back was healing before their eyes. The warrior stepped back in shock. What are you?" Reed smiled, rolling her now-healed shoulder. "We tried to tell you. Humans aren't fragile. We're just different." The next minute changed everything. Reed moved with renewed speed, no longer just dodging. Each strike she landed was precise, targeting joints and pressure points that Stone's team had studied during their training. The warrior's natural armor, which had never failed him before, became a prison of limited movement. Within minutes, the massive alien was on his knees, all 4 arms pinned in submission holds. The arena fell silent. "How?" The warrior gasped as medical teams rushed in. "You were injured. I saw the blood." "Humans don't rely on armor," Reed explained, helping him up with surprising gentleness. "We heal. We adapt. Every injury makes us stronger." In the observation deck, Vex turned to Walker and Stone. "Impossible. No species can regenerate that quickly." "Actually," Stone replied, "we've been doing it the whole time. Those endurance trials yesterday, we weren't just finishing them. We were getting stronger with each obstacle. Our bodies were adapting, healing, improving." The alien commander's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. The files said nothing about this. "Your scientists only looked for things they understood," Walker explained. "They searched for armor, for redundant organs, for all the ways other species survive. They never considered that healing itself could be a defense." News spread through the station like wildfire. Alien medical teams requested permission to scan the human competitors. The scans showed what looked like impossibilities. Micro tears in muscles knitting themselves stronger, small cuts disappearing in hours instead of days, even bones showing signs of increased density where stress had been highest. "This changes everything," Vex muttered, watching the medical data scroll past. "If what you're saying is true." "It is," Stone confirmed. "And this is just the beginning. Every challenge you throw at us, every injury we survive, makes us harder to kill next time." The alien commander's armor plates rattled in what might have been fear. "How many more secrets are you hiding?" Stone smiled. "Keep watching the games. You'll find out." As Reed walked back to the human quarters, Alien scrambled to get out of her way. They no longer saw a fragile, soft skin. They saw something new, a creature that could take their worst attacks and come back stronger. The galaxy's understanding of strength was about to change forever. Medical Officer Tom Harris stood before the Galactic Council's Science Division, facing a room full of alien doctors and researchers. Their earlier mockery had been replaced by intense curiosity after Lieutenant Reed's display in the combat arena. "Explain," High Commander Vex demanded, pointing to the screen showing human cellular structure. "How is this possible?" Harris pulled up an image comparing human skin to various alien armors. "You all evolved to prevent damage," he began. "Thick plates, hard shells, redundant organs. But humans, we evolved to respond to damage." The alien scientists clicked and muttered among themselves as Harris continued. He showed them videos of human skin healing, bones knitting, and muscles rebuilding. "Look here," he pointed to a time-lapse of human muscle repair. "When our muscles tear from exercise or injury, they don't just heal, they grow back stronger. We call it adaptation." One crystal-skinned alien doctor raised an appendage. "But the energy cost, the resources needed." "Yes," Harris nodded. "It's expensive. We need lots of food, water, and rest. But it works. While your species focus on preventing injury, we focus on recovering from it." He showed them more images, a broken bone healing stronger at the break point, scar tissue tougher than the original skin, muscle fibers denser after repair. "Every injury that doesn't kill us literally makes us stronger," Harris explained. "Those endurance trials you put us through, our team wasn't just surviving them, they were getting better at them, minute by minute." Vex leaned forward. "And the combat healing we witnessed?" "Adrenaline," Harris replied. "Under threat, human bodies can direct incredible resources to repair." Lieutenant Reed's display was impressive, but not unusual for us. The alien scientists were frantically taking notes now. One of them, a beetle-like creature, spoke up. "But in our initial scans, we saw none of this." Harris smiled. "You were looking for the wrong things. You scanned us for thick skin, for armor plates, for backup organs. But our strength isn't in preventing damage. It's in our response to it." He showed them historical photos of human athletes, soldiers, and survivors. "See these scars. Each one represents an injury that made that person stronger. Our bodies learn from every wound, every stress, every challenge." "Impossible," one alien doctor declared. "No species can continuously improve like this." "Watch," Harris said. He pulled up Lieutenant Reed's medical scans from before and after her combat trial. "See these muscle densities, the bone structure, even the skin composition, all improved. Her body didn't just heal, it upgraded itself." The room erupted in excited scientific discussion. Harris could see the moment they began to understand. Their view of humanity was transforming from dismissive amusement to fascinated respect. "There's more," Harris continued, showing them brain scans. "Our neural pathways adapt too. Every experience, every fight, every recovery makes us smarter, faster, more skilled. We don't just heal our bodies, we learn and grow stronger in every way." Vex's armor plates rattled in what might have been concern. "Are you saying there's no limit?" "There are limits," Harris assured him. "We can't regrow lost limbs. Massive trauma can overwhelm our healing. We age and die like any species. But within those limits," he paused, looking at the amazed alien faces, "we are incredibly resilient." As the presentation ended, the alien scientists crowded around Harris, asking questions about human biology. Their earlier condescension had vanished, replaced by genuine scientific curiosity. "One more thing," Harris added, pulling up a final image. It showed human DNA. "All of this, our healing, our adaptation, our resilience, it's built into every cell of our bodies. It's not technology. It's not a trick. It's who we are." Walking back to the human quarters, Harris heard the excited discussions following him. The aliens were beginning to understand that what they'd seen wasn't just a medical curiosity. It was a complete reimagining of what made a species strong. In their quarters, Captain Stone waited for his report. How did they take it? Harris grinned. They're starting to understand, but they're also starting to worry. Good, Stone nodded. Because tomorrow, we show them what humans can really do when we stop holding back. The final day of the Galactic Military Games dawned with a very different atmosphere than when they began. The arena stands were packed with aliens eager to watch the humans compete, but there was no laughter now. Only tense anticipation. The classification board has met. High Commander Vex announced to the assembled competitors. Based on new evidence, humans are being reclassified as a class as species, effective immediately. Captain Stone watched as his team prepared for the final event, the Squad Combat Challenge. Around them, other alien teams kept their distance, eyeing the humans with new respect and fear. They're afraid of us now, Lieutenant Reed noted, stretching muscles that had grown visibly stronger over the past days of competition. They should be, Stone replied, ready to show them what we can really do. The Squad Combat Challenge was brutal by design. Teams would face waves of combat drones, environmental hazards, and finally each other in an all-out battle. Most species relied on their natural armor to survive. The humans had different plans. As the event began, the alien audience watched in fascination as Stone's team moved with incredible coordination. Each member showed visible improvements from their earlier performances. They were faster, stronger, more precise. Incredible, one alien scientist remarked, monitoring their bio-readings. Their combat efficiency has increased by 47% since the first day. They're still adapting, still improving. The combat drones fell before the human team with surprising ease, where other teams smashed through them with brute force. The humans moved like water, each action smooth and purposeful. When injuries occurred, they healed almost instantly. Look at their technique, a veteran warrior commented from the stands. Every movement learned from previous battles. They're not just healing, they're evolving their fighting style in real time. The environmental hazards came next. Acid rain, extreme temperatures, toxic gas. The human skin reddened, blistered, and then adapted. By the third exposure, they moved through the hazards like they were nothing. This is what we missed, Vex said quietly to Ambassador Walker, who had joined him in the command center. While we thought they were weak, they were learning, growing stronger. Every challenge we put them through just made them more formidable. The final phase began, team versus team combat. The aliens watched as Stone's squad faced off against the tournament favorites, a team of massive reptilian warriors from a heavy-gravity world. What followed wasn't just a fight, it was a demonstration. The humans moved as one unit, using everything they'd learned about their opponent's weaknesses. When the reptilian warriors tried to use their superior strength, they found the humans were no longer the same fighters they'd been days ago. Their muscle density has doubled, the science team reported in amazement. Bone strength increased by 60%. Neural reaction times shortened by 35%. They're not the same species we classified as fragile a week ago. The battle ended with the human team victorious, standing tall while their opponents lay defeated. Stone helped one of the reptilian warriors to his feet, showing respect that touched the alien audience. How? The warrior asked. How did you become so strong so quickly? We didn't, Stone explained. We were always this strong. You just couldn't see it because you were looking for strength in the wrong places. Later in the award ceremony, High Commander Vex himself presented the humans with their medals. His 4 eyes studied them with newfound respect. We were wrong about your species, he admitted publicly. What we saw as weakness was actually your greatest strength. Your ability to adapt, to heal, to grow stronger from adversity. It is unlike anything we've seen in the galaxy. As the ceremony concluded, alien representatives rushed to speak with Ambassador Walker about new trade deals, military alliances, and cultural exchanges. The human status in the galactic community had changed overnight. "They're calling us the adaptive ones now," Reed told Stone as they watched the chaos. "Quite a change from fragile soft skins." Stone nodded, looking at their team. Stronger, faster, and more capable than when they'd arrived. The galaxy just learned an important lesson. True strength isn't about being unbreakable. It's about how you respond when you're broken. The human team's victory would change galactic society forever. But as they prepared to return home, they knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was about to learn a lot more about what humans could do. 1 month after the Galactic Military Games, Earth's orbital space buzzed with alien ships, not observers this time, but diplomats and traders. In the same United Nations building where the first contact mockery had begun, Ambassador Walker prepared for another meeting with High Commander Vex. This time, things were different. Walker smiled as he remembered the events board in the space station's main hall, now displaying the new records set during the games. Under fastest adaptation to environmental hazards, humans. Under most improved combat performance, humans. Under best squad tactical innovation, humans. The door opened and High Commander Vex entered. His armor still gleamed, but his posture had changed. Gone was the condescending tilt of his head, replaced by the level gaze of equals. Ambassador Walker, Vex's translator, conveyed a new tone of respect. "Thank you for meeting with me. Please, sit." Walker gestured to a chair especially reinforced for alien visitors. "I hear the council has been busy." Indeed. Vex's armor plates shifted in what Walker now recognized as discomfort. "We've been rewriting many of our classification protocols. Your species has changed our understanding of strength." Walker noted the absence of the clicking sounds of alien laughter that had filled their first meeting. "How so?" "We always thought power came from preventing damage," Vex explained. "The strongest species were those who could not be hurt. But humans," he paused, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence, "you showed us that true strength comes from how you respond to damage." The alien commander placed a data crystal on the table. "This contains requests from 17 different species for human training methods. They want to learn your way of, what did Captain Stone call it? Adaptive resilience," Walker supplied. "Though I'm not sure it can be taught. It's the result of millions of years of evolution." "Perhaps," Vex agreed. "But there are other lessons we can learn from humans. Your team showed us that armor can be a prison. That preventing all damage means preventing growth. That comfort." He seemed to struggle with the concept. "Comfort can make you weak." Through the window, they could see the memorial that had been erected to commemorate the games. It showed a human hand, rising from broken chains, symbolizing humanity breaking free from the limitations others had placed on them. "The galaxy is changing," Vex continued. "Some species are already trying to modify their armor, make it more flexible. Others are studying human healing techniques. Even my own people are questioning our reliance on natural defenses." Walker leaned forward. "And how do you feel about these changes?" "Scared," Vex admitted, surprising Walker with his honesty. "For millions of years, we thought we understood what made a species strong. Now," his armor rattled slightly, "now we must relearn everything." "That's the point," Walker smiled. "Relearning, adapting, growing. That's what humans do best. And we're happy to teach others." A notification chimed on Walker's computer. The first human-alien joint training program was beginning at a military base in Nevada. Captain Stone and Lieutenant Reed were there, showing alien warriors how to fight without relying solely on their armor. "There's something else," Vex said, his translator struggling to convey his complex emotions. "The Council has a request. We want humans to help establish new games, not just military trials, but challenges that test adaptation, innovation, and recovery." "The resilience games," Walker suggested. "Yes." Vex's eye plates shifted in what might have been excitement. "Where species can learn from each other. where strength isn't measured by how hard you are to break, but by how well you rebuild. As they concluded their meeting, Walker walked Vex to his ship. The alien commander paused at the door. "You know," he said, "when we first met, I thought humans were primitive, fragile creatures who had somehow stumbled into space travel. And now I understand that what we saw as fragility was flexibility. What we mocked as weakness was wisdom. Humans aren't despite their soft skin and vulnerable bodies. You are powerful because of them." Walker watched the alien ship depart, remembering how different things had been just months ago. The galaxy had laughed at humanity's apparent weakness, only to discover that true strength wasn't about being unbreakable. It was about breaking, learning, healing, and coming back stronger. The stars seemed brighter now, full of new possibilities. Humanity had not just earned its place among the stars, they had changed the very definition of what it meant to be strong. The age of adaptation had begun.